everyone, welcome to Working on It. I'm Dr. A and I'm a clinical psychologist aiming to make your life just a bit more manageable. Remember, the tools and the tidbits that we discuss on this channel are purely educational. They can't replace therapy, but with some practice, they can help you along in your daily life. So let's get started. Today, we'll be talking about how to be resilient. What does resilient mean? Resilient means that when something bad comes our way, when there is a hardship or a difficulty that we're faced with in our life, we are able to pick ourselves back up, dust ourselves off, and keep moving forward. And sometimes better than we were before. So how to be strong in that way, even when there's something really difficult going on in our lives. So a lot of people think that the opposite of depression or sadness is happiness. But actually, the research shows that the opposite of depression is actually resilience. I was surprised to find out about it myself. So if we can find out how to bounce back when things come our way, we can overall have a more happy and a more stable life. Let's talk about some of the things that we can do to be more resilient today. One of the stories that I really like when I think about resilience is this Native American story about two wolves. There is a good wolf that represents joy and happiness and compassion and kindness. And then there's a bad wolf that represents evil and jealousy and all of these kind of things that we think of associated with bad in life. And the story goes that somebody asks, which wolf wins? And the answer to that is very simple. It's whichever wolf we feed. Those two wolves live inside of us. We all have a bad wolf inside of us and a good wolf. In terms of resilience, we want to be feeding that part of us that allows us to keep going and keep moving. That voice inside of us that says, no matter what happened to us, it's okay. You can get up and you can move forward. That's the wolf that we want to be feeding. So we have to think about, do we want to be feeding the wolf that is down and out and telling us to stay down? Or do we want to feed the wolf that's telling us to get up and fight and keep going? The second one. When we do that, when we make up our mind that we're going to feed that wolf that tells us to fight and get up and keep going, and life is not over, we still have a lot of things to accomplish. When we feed that wolf, we want to make sure, and this is the second thing, that we are surrounded by people who love us and who support us or who will help us. This could be friends, this could be family, and it can also be professionals like me. Psychologists, therapists, social workers. You want to make sure that when you are feeding that good wolf, when you are deciding, I'm going to dust myself off enough, I'm going to get up, I'm going to fight, that you are surrounded by people who make you feel like you can do those things and like you do have the power to keep going. So, feed the good wolf. Make sure that you have a support system. And the third thing, and this is really important, is to believe, not to think, but to believe in your heart that you are in the driver's seat. You get to decide what happens in your life, not the circumstances. That the external things don't decide what happens. You write the story regardless of what happens. You have to believe that in order to keep going. So in all of these that we talked about, these examples, these tenets of being resilient, there is two paths that you can take when something really hard happens and something really difficult comes your way. One path is to succumb to whatever is going on, to lay down and stay down. Or the other path is, you know what, maybe you did choose to stay down for a little bit, but at any moment, you can choose that other path, which is to get up and to fight and to move forward. That's what the choices are here. And I gave you some ways to do that if you do choose to move forward, which I really hope you do. And you do choose to think about, I'm in the driver's seat, I write my own story. Things will happen to me all the time. but I get to decide how I deal with it. Do I stay down or do I navigate the circumstances? Do the circumstances control me and jerk me around, or do I take charge and do I become the boss of whatever it is that happens in my life? That's resilience. I post videos every Tuesday and Friday. Come back and see me next time. We will be working on our very first cognitive distortion. We talked about thoughts. We talked about how our mind tricks us. Watch those videos in preparation for this next one, because this will be the very first trick that our mind plays on us that we'll be learning, and it's called fortune telling. I'll tell you all about it next time. In the meantime, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You'll be alerted when all these new videos come out so you can build on the tools that you already learned today and in the other videos. You got this. See you next time.